pick a leader for a team because that person expresses the most confidence, we've been influenced by an illusion. Every time we start a new project, convinced that we know how long it will take to complete, we are under an illusion. Indeed, virtually no realm of human behavior is untouched by everyday illusions. As professors who design and run psychology experiments for a living, we found that the more we study the nature of the mind, the more we see the impact of these illusions in our own lives. You can develop the same sort of X-ray vision into the workings of your own mind. When you finish this book, you will be able to glimpse the man behind the curtain and some of the tiny gears and pulleys that govern your thoughts and beliefs. Once you know about everyday illusions, you will view the world differently and think about it more clearly. You will see how illusions affect your own thoughts and actions, as well as the behavior of everyone around you. And you will recognize when journalists, managers, advertisers, and politicians, intentionally or accidentally, take advantage of illusions in an attempt to obfuscate or persuade. Understanding everyday illusions will lead you to recalibrate the way you approach your life to account for the limitations and the true strengths of your mind. You might even come up with ways to exploit these insights for fun and profit. Ultimately, seeing through the veils that distort how we perceive ourselves and the world will connect you, for perhaps the first time, with reality. Chapter 1. I think I would have seen that. Around 2 o'clock on the cold, overcast morning of January 25, 1995, a group of 4 black men left the scene of a shooting at a hamburger restaurant in the Grove Hall section of Boston. As they drove away in a gold Lexus, the police radio erroneously announced that the victim was a cop, leading officers from several districts to join in a 10-mile high-speed chase. In the 15 to 20 minutes of mayhem that ensued, one police car veered off the road and crashed into a parked van. Eventually, the Lexus skidded to a stop in a cul-de-sac on Woodruff Way in the Mattapan neighborhood. The suspects fled the car and ran in different directions. One suspect, Robert Smut Brown III, age 24, wearing a dark leather jacket, exited the back passenger side of the car and sprinted toward a chain-link fence on the side of the cul-de-sac. The first car in pursuit, an unmarked police vehicle, stopped to the left of the Lexus. Michael Cox, a decorated officer from the police anti-gang unit who'd grown up in the nearby Roxbury area, got out of the passenger seat and took off after Brown. Cox, who also is black, was in plain clothes that night. He wore jeans, a black hoodie, and a parka. Cox got to the fence just after Smut Brown. As Brown scrambled over the top, his jacket got stuck on the metal. Cox reached for Brown and tried to pull him back, but Brown managed to fall to the other side. Cox prepared to scale the fence in pursuit, but just as he was starting to climb, his head was struck from behind by a blunt object, perhaps a baton or a flashlight. He fell to the ground. Another police officer had mistaken him for a suspect, and several officers then beat up Cox, kicking him in the head, back, face, and mouth. After a few moments, someone yelled, "Stop, stop, he's a cop, he's a cop." At that point, the officers fled, leaving Cox lying unconscious on the ground with facial wounds, a concussion, and kidney damage. Meanwhile, the pursuit of the suspects continued as more cops arrived. Early on the scene was Kenny Conley, a large athletic man from South Boston, who had joined the police force 4 years earlier, not long after graduating from high school. Conley's cruiser came to a stop about 40 feet away from the gold Lexus. Conley saw Smut Brown scale the fence, drop to the other side, and run. Conley followed Brown over the fence, chased him on foot for about a mile, and eventually captured him at gunpoint and handcuffed him in a parking lot on River Street. Conley wasn't involved in the assault on Officer Cox, but he began his pursuit of Brown right as Cox was being pulled from the fence, and he scaled the fence right next to where the beating was happening. Although the other murder suspects were caught, and that case was considered solved, the assault on Officer Cox remained wide open. For the next
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.